What's going on, Raiders? Duelim here, and today we're going to be talking about ISHIYAMA the Immovable, who is going to be the new fusion for May of 2025. So we are on hellhades.com to get all the information you could need. So you see he is a spirit affinity, and he's also going to be getting a rating of 3.5. He's also going to be on the Shadowkin faction as well, and he's a little bit different. So he is a damage dealer. He's mainly going to be used for Arena, but if you are new to Raid Shadow Legends or newer to Raid Shadow Legends, this guy is going to be a little bit different from a damage dealer than what you're used to if you've played other games. So what's going to happen here is he is actually going to scale his attacks with max HP. That's right. His damage on his A1, A2, A3, everything is going to be based on his max health. So that is not a new mechanic to Raid Shadow Legends, but it might be a new mechanic to you. And it's a really, really cool mechanic. You literally don't want to build attack damage on him. You do still want to build crit and crit damage, but his damage is going to get ramped up by raising his HP. So a lot of percent-based HP is going to help him out a bunch. And before we go any further, I wanted to make sure we talked about my all-new promo code, a link in the description. That's right. If you use that link to start your new account, another account, a second, third, whatever it is, you're going to be getting Eleanoril Day 1, who is a legendary nuker. Absolutely insane. Bleeds, poisons, all the good stuff. At level 15, you're going to be getting Tagore, who's an epic support character with a team-wide revive. And then at level 30, you're also going to be getting Ugo. And I can't say enough good things about Ugo. If you've been here for a while, you know that. And then on your first day, this is extremely important, within the first 24 hours of making your account, you need to go to the left-hand side and you need to type in the promo code Monkey King to get Sun Wukong, who is an S-tier legendary, will carry you through the early game, mid game, and get you all the way to late game faster than you could ever imagine. And if you're on iOS, make sure you are clicking the link in the description to type in any sort of promo codes for iOS. So let's get back into it. We've got ISHIYAMA the Immovable overview. He focuses on dealing damage while growing stronger against enemies under debuffs. And yeah, he absolutely does. He actually has a pretty interesting passive that allows him to, like 100%, no matter what, can't be resisted, place some negative effects, some debuffs, which is great. So let's get into his star rating here. So there's some key areas that he's actually going to be good in. He's decent in Clan Boss, Hydra, Doom Tower, Ice Golem. He's pretty okay. He's pretty decent in a lot of different places. You could see not really good in hard mode anywhere, which is pretty unfortunate. He does have good crowd control, which is pretty good, but the issue is he's very one-dimensional, and I don't think he's super impactful for a lot of people, right? So if we look down here, we'll see his kit. So his aura is going to be increases ally HP in all battles by 28%. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit transfers a random debuff from this champion to the target. If this champion is under any debuffs when attacked, counterattacks with this skill, and then it just gets more damage from the books. The A2 calculated volley is on a 4-turn cooldown, booked down to a 3. Attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a fear debuff, which fear is pretty awesome. Fear essentially means if anybody tries to use an A2 or an A3, they just waste their turn and they put their ability on cooldown. So unless you're using the A1, you're literally not going to take a turn, which is really good when you're going against the AI, because they're not smart enough to use the A1. They're going to literally use the A2 or the A3, and then they're just going to eat their own turn and put their put their skill on cooldown, which is pretty awesome. A 25% decrease crit damage debuff and a 30% decrease crit rate debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. These buffs cannot be resisted by enemies who are already under 2 or more debuffs, which means you want to have somebody going before ISHIYAMA to put 2, maybe 3 debuffs on them, make sure they land, put super high accuracy on that person, and then you want to make sure you're doing the A2 to make sure these buffs cannot be resisted, because if they're already under 2 or more debuffs. So that's pretty interesting. It does get booked down to a 3-turn cooldown as well, and then the buff chance does go up to 100% at level 5 as well, and then you get a little bit more damage at level 2 and level 3. So not too bad. And then the ultimate, the A3 is going to be finish them. 4-turn cooldown, book down to a 3. Attacks one enemy, will ignore 25% of the target's defense, will ignore 50% of the target's defense instead. If the target is under 2 or more debuffs, places a block damage buff on this champion for 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. So block debuff, block damage buff is pretty good, right? But you do have to worry about it has to be a kill. So it does have to be that killing blow. Now, what is really nice is it does ignore 50% of the target's defense if the target is under 2 or more debuffs. So again, this is a massive debuff team. But the problem is, especially late game, the meta is Stone Skin, right? And Stone Skin essentially means you can't put many debuffs on many people in the beginning because they have that Stone Skin until you break it, but it's very hard to break. So it's not very good. This guy's not going to be very good late game. And I know I've seen a couple different people talk about it who are late game saying, yeah, this doesn't help with the meta. And at my level, I don't even think he's going to be that useful either. His aura is the health. So there, not super important. I need speed in arena. Maybe when I get towards mid game, he'll be a little bit more important. But as of right now, he kind of looks kind of meh to me. His kit is pretty cool. I do like the health-based damage dealer. I think that's really interesting. And then we'll talk about the passive. So whenever an enemy resists a debuff placed by this champion, the next debuff placed by this champion cannot be resisted, which is really interesting. Just period, plain and simple, cannot be resisted. And then each debuff placed by this champion increases their max HP by 3, stacks up to 30%. And this is what makes him decent in Clan Boss, right? Which is why I think he got a 4-star in Clan Boss, 3.5 star, because the longer the fight goes, the longer, the more max HP he's going to get, which means the more max HP he's going to get, the more damage he's going to be dealing with his abilities, because again, he's an HP-based damage dealer. Now, I don't like this passive, at least the second half of this passive for Arena, because this section here, Arena, this won't get affected by Arena, right? Because Arena fights are over very quickly. So this will not get affected by Arena very much unless it's a stalemate in like live Arena, which it could be, right? I started playing live Arena a little bit. I'll have a video on my main channel about that. And there was a pretty long matchup, but unless you're surviving for a super long time in Arena, which most people don't, like most of my Arena matchups are 10 seconds. Either I wipe them or they wipe me, and that's pretty much it. So it's interesting to see this being put in here, but I think this was put in here just to make him a little bit more well-rounded and make him a little bit better in Clan Boss and other places like that. So I'm not sold on him. I don't look at this and go, wow, I'm really glad I've been saving a bunch of energy to use this. And you guys can see in game here, we do have a lot of energy saved up, right? So in my inbox here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 full energies going. I have 600 energy right now that I'm going to keep blowing on this event that's going on. I want to keep getting the Community Weeks Titan event going on. I want to get at least the 3 split soul for Ardor. I think that's going to be a good pushing point for me, and then I'm going to stop. I'm also still working on the champion training event that's going on right now. So we've got that going on, and I'm making sure I get to 6,500 points. I did have lofty goals in the beginning to make sure I got the Mikage split soul. And then I have like 2 people that are just blowing all of their energy reserves for this. So I'm like, wow, that's not happening. I'm going to get to 6,500 and stop. So yeah, it is what it is. That's okay with me. But yeah, I think ISHIYAMA is going to be a pass for me. He does not look very interesting at all. We also got a spider tournament that just started as well. I didn't remember about this. That's awesome. Okay, cool. I need to do this as well because I need more Titan points. So awesome. That's going to get another 100 for me. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So yeah, I'm going to be pushing for that 3 split soul. But as for ISHIYAMA, I'm kind of meh on him. I'm not sold. I'm definitely not sold. And for my level, trying to get a fusion is very, very deliberate and very hard to do. Like I definitely need to save a bunch of energy, potentially buy some offers that have energy in them to get this done. And this guy does not look like he is worth doing. He's not going to greatly affect my Clan Boss damage. He's not going to greatly affect my progress in Doom Tower. Nothing of that sort. So there's really no point for him for me. because right now the arena for me is just all speed, and that's all it is. I don't really think I need a debuffer in arena. Maybe later on I'm going to regret not getting him, but as of right now, I think it's going to be a hard pass for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, Raiders.